3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh my gosh! You can see that? That's enough. That's definitely enough. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Right behind me is the Opera House of the Guangzhou city. But today we are not going for the concert. We are for this, the Power Monster. Very quickly, we've been able to test drive this XPeng G9 since the last time we filmed the exterior and the interior design. So I won't talk too much for today's video about that. If you guys are interested with that, you guys can check my previous videos. The model we have here today is the high-end model. So there was 4 auto soft close door that I didn't show you guys last time. The way we're going to close it, so we don't need to shut it down by too much force. Another very interesting design of XPeng G9 is this one. Actually, there was 2 of 5G antennas. It's unlike any other cars they've put on this position. The G9 has very distinctive 5G antenna positioning. As you guys can see, there is a performance version, so there is a smoked badge over here. So that's the way we're going to tell people which one is the high-end model. Of course, for today's model, it's equipped double chamber air suspension, which is rarely seen on the same level cars. We're more likely to see it on like very luxury cars like Porsche. Another thing, the chassis part is being tuned by a top German team for 2 years. I'm so excited to drive this XPeng G9. All right, let's get started. Alright guys, here on the brand new XPeng G9, there are a few driving modes we can choose over here. So there is a standard mode and the comfort mode, eco mode, and sport mode, and off-road mode. Even we will go to this the launch mode. So this one going to release the whole power instantly in just 0.15 seconds. That's going to be crazy. If I got a chance later, I'm going to try out this one. And also we got the geek mode here. So for this mode, we've been able to do more customizations. For example, we can like the power regenerates and also the air suspensions. So those kind of things we can adjust or customize from this mode. Yeah, all right. So now we're going to put on the standard mode, as it's the most common driving mode. We're going to drive this car for the daily commuting. All right. So now let's see what this XPeng G9 is like to drive on the road. Let's get started. This car is quite powerful. It has pretty decent power performance. Especially for today's version, we call it the high-end model. It is 405 kilowatt power output, 717 Newton meter of torque. As the result, it brings the G9 into the 3-second SUV club. First of all, let's see how comfortable this G9 is driving on the city street. As you guys can see, we are pretty much in the downtown of the Guangzhou city here. So that is the most common scenario. The standard mode is like kind of a balance between sporty and the comfortable. So there is a point in between 2 of them. Under the standard mode, so the suspension is less stiffer, but you won't feel it's too soft. It's overall good over undulations. You won't feel too much the bumps or vibrations or the rough road surface. Even under this standard mode, the accelerator, the system is going to pick up the power as well. For example, we just now is 44 kilometers an hour. We just give it a little bit, and you can still feel something push you back to the seats. Yeah, that's definitely good enough for city driving and the standard mode. Now we are still under the standard mode, and the car ahead seems a bit slow. So we just put on the signal, even under standard mode, and we just give it a little bit accelerator. We don't need to follow it. And we just very easy, very confident to overtake that car. Right, so the standard mode is quite joyful. It's a pleasure to drive this car under the standard mode. So now I'm going to turn on the the comfy mode here. That one feels more soft, so the car absorbing even more bumps, even the big bumps, quite friendly for your families. About personal driving, I'd like to put on the standard mode instead of the comfy mode. Okay, as for the sound insulation part, the NVH performance seems reasonable, quiet. It won't feel too much like road noise or wind noise. Yeah, but we didn't drive too fast and on the city street. Later we're going to try it out on the highway. Okay, guys, very lucky we are on the red light now. So now we're going to put on the sport mode here. You guys hear the effects? It's pretty futuristic science fiction feelings, isn't it? All right, so now I just put on the auto hold. So yeah, this car got auto hold function as well. And then we just wait for the red light finish and then we're going to floor it. Let's see how quick it is. Right, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Wow. Wow, and you will feel definitely it's like under 4 second cars. As you guys may notice, the speed is just easy go over the speed limit here. So we have to put on the brake as quick as we can. As soon we are going to over the speed limit here, I definitely don't want to end up in the jail for speedings in the Guangdong city here. The most relaxing part of this car is this 5D intelligent cockpit. So there are 28 audio units all around this car with the Dynaudio confidence audio system. That's pretty premium feelings of the sound system, especially when we on the way from the office go back home. So just sitting here and put on the standard mode or comfort mode, and we turn on the music and put on the massage function. Wow. That's going to be a joyful pleasure moment. I really hope XPeng could update their full scenario autonomous driving as soon as possible. Could you guys imagine the scenario? So when we finish the long day work and we are going back home and we just jump into this car, then the XPeng itself could drive from destination A to the car park at the destination B. So everything goes automatically, and then we just relax and have the massage here and turn on the music and enjoy the 5D cockpit. Alright guys, finally we are on the highway now, and the speed is 90 and we go all the way to the 100 kilometers an hour. The first impression given me is this car is pretty quiet. I wouldn't feel like too much noise, like wind whistle. Yeah, if you compare with my ES6 or even the Model Y, that's better. That's way better than Model Y, and it also feels better than my ES6. So I think there was 3 parts contributed to this sound insulation of this car. First one is the all insulated material. There was a lot of insulated material applied on this car. So that's one of a very important contribution on the sound insulation NVH. And the second part is the active the powertrain noisy system. So which means the system could detect the vibration or like noise from the powertrain part, and then the car is going to produce a reverse vibration or power to eliminate this kind of noise. So make this car is more quiet on the power part, even we drive on the high speed. So the third one is the low noise, the car body design. And today we have the 21-inch wheels. That one, the tire is the silent tires. So all those factors contributed to the NVH part. Alright guys, now we're going to put on the eco mode. So under this mode, we're going to have the longest range of this car. For the XPeng G9, we got a few options of the range. Today we have the all-wheel drive dual motors, the high-end version. So the COTC range is 625 kilometers. But for the longest version, you will go the rear motors drive and came with 702 kilometers of range. Alright, by speaking of the eco mode, so there is a few options that we can choose, like different levels, power regenerating. The levels, we got the low and middle and high and one pedal mode. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so now we are on a mountain and we're going to test out the Twisty road here. As you guys can see, all this road here is quite sharp. There is many sharp turns, some is even reached 180 degree. Alright, so now we already put the driver mode to the sport mode here. So under this mode, the suspension is stiffer and the car position is a little bit lower to the ground if we compare with the comfort mode. And the steering wheel, we need to give it a little bit force. Definitely you will feel more handling and you will feel more control of the car. Right now I'm going over the very bad rough road surface. Definitely the suspension is stiffer and you will hear the more rough road surface and you can hear it clearly and you can feel it. Now I'm going to speed up. It's very easy to go over 60, 70. I just give it a little bit and the sport mode. Wind feel is leaning quite so much here. I think probably due to the intelligent air suspension. So actually the suspension could give you some kind of like compensation to like fix the car to the more flat level, more horizontal level. So there is another very sharp turn here. So we just keep the speed around 50, 60 and cut into this sharp turn and then we're going to speed up. Wow, that's so much fun here. I didn't feel it's a big SUV here. So the vehicle handling is quite tight. You feel like the car is ready. Anytime like release its power. So we can see the car ahead and just going to overtake it. That's pretty quick and pretty easy. Just like doing nothing here. And the acceleration is extremely responsive. Just give it a little bit. Wow. So if you put 100% concentration on to driving this car, and you won't feel you're driving a big SUV, large 5C SUV here. Wow, that's so much fun. Drive on the mountain road. The suspension is not react like you are driving a big boat, like a bag of force like this. According to XPeng, the suspension is automatically going to adjust the best suspension mode, stiffness, and the height for you. I think that's quite smart. And for the steering wheel part, there were 3 modes you can choose for the level of the force, electric force. We are going down the mountain now. So I'm probably going to put on the eco mode, put the power regenerating to the high. In this mode, we've been able to regenerate more electricity. If you guys can see properly over that side, the graphic line over here, down to this bottom part, there is green, so which means we are regenerating the battery, the power here, and push back to the battery. Another very good thing is here. So under every mode, standard modes or comfort modes, we will be able to choose the different levels of the power regenerating. Yeah, that's pretty good. Alright guys, now we're going to try a launch mode. Launch mode is too powerful, so we ask a professional to do it for us. Alright, so now we put on the launch mode. Alright, you guys see the effects over there on the dashboard instrument gauge cluster over there. Alright, so we're probably going to sit tight and buckle up. Alright guys, now we're going to try it. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys see that? How fast it is. The speed is easy, go over 80 kilometers an hour. Wow, I feel my soul is out of my body now. The instant feeling, the G value is pretty large. You feel like 5 or 6 people like push you, strongly push you back to the seat. Wow. So the 3000 Newton meter per second, the power released at 0.15 seconds. That's crazy. That's way too much for me. Nowadays, all the cars, all the EVs, there is hardly see any physical buttons on the car. So the voice assistant should be smart. Yeah. So this is going to increase the driving safety when we drive on the roads. It's not safe to touch the screen over here. Of course, the XPeng voice assistant could take several orders at the same time. For example, which is 你好小屁。
咋了？
打开地图，导航到广州塔，空调调节到23度。
结果是第几个？温度设为23度了。
You guys see that? The temperature has changed to 23 degrees. There is another very practical function of the air suspension. It's the easy loading function here. We just need to simply press the button here, and then the car is automatically lowering the rear part, which means we've been able to carry the big stuff and put into the trunk here. So that would be very practical. Of course, if we want to sit here, there is very good position. The way we're going to raise it up, I'll just drive away the car, and the car is automatically raised up the air suspension. Or we can just simply press this button here, and then the air suspension is automatically raised up. Alright guys, after having so much fun today with this XPeng G9, it's definitely quite a pleasure driving car. I like it, especially the suspension part is quite smart and intelligent. So the double chamber air suspension, it does the job. This car definitely gives you very good handling. You will feel lots of control of the car. You won't feel you drive a big SUV. Actually, you feel you're driving a sedan, or it's more likely a large sedan. There are a few things when I'm considering buying an electric car. Pretty much the first thing when I consider it is to compare the autonomous driving ability. For this XPeng G9, it's quite a decent amount of autonomous driving hardware. Another thing is how practical is this XPeng G9 in terms of the storage part. Of XPeng G9, we've got this very large the front trunk over here, and also you got loads of storage at the rear side. And the third one is how fast we're going to charge the car. XPeng G9, we can charge the car for 5 minutes, and then you will get 200 kilometers range. The good thing is XPeng, they are planning to build over 2,000 S4 800-volt charging station by the year 2025. So that's the good news for XPeng owners. Thanks for watching today's video, and don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell.